Mike Morgan, a former leader of the Oklahoma Senate, has been accused in a 63-count federal indictment of accepting more than $400,000 in illegal payments from 3 companies while a legislator. On Thursday, March 31st, the U.S. Attorney's Office answered questions about the indictment.
The charges include conspiracy, extortion, bribery, and mail fraud. It is alleged that these 3 individuals were involved in orchestrating 3 schemes to have businesses pay Senator Morgan for favorable treatment in the Oklahoma legislature and with public officials. The indictment also alleges that these payments were disguised as fees for Senator Morgan's services as an attorney. As I said, there are 3 schemes alleged in the indictment. The first is that in 2005, Mr. Stringer was a named partner at a law firm here in Oklahoma City. One of his clients was a business identified in the indictment as Company A. Company A also hired Mr. Skeeth as its lobbyist. The indictment explains that during the spring of 2005, this business was trying to get state and local approval for a new landfill. Faced with opposition to the landfill in the legislature and among county commissioners, it is alleged that Mr. Stringer and Mr. Skeeth had Company A place Senator Morgan on a legal retainer. In exchange, it is alleged that Senator Morgan used his position as an elected official to keep harmful legislation from passing and to push for bills that would cut back the power of county commissioners to regulate landfills. All told, the indictment alleges that Company A paid Senator Morgan just over $141,000 from 2005 until 2008, when Senator Morgan left the Oklahoma State Senate. The second scheme alleged in the indictment alleges that Mr. Stringer and Mr. Skeeth shared another client identified in the indictment as Company B. Company B was hoping to build a power plant in northeast Oklahoma with the Grand River Dam Authority. Beginning in late 2004, Company B started paying Senator Morgan at a rate of $5,000 per month. By the time Senator Morgan left the legislature, it is alleged that he had received $250,000 from Company B, supposedly for serving as one of its attorneys. But, again, according to the indictment, Senator Morgan was taking money in exchange for official acts. Before Company B could build a power plant with the Grand River Dam Authority, it needed to change state law on public competitive bidding and bonding for public construction, which Company B accomplished in the 2005 legislative session. The indictment also alleges that Mr. Stringer and Mr. Skeeth included Senator Morgan in meetings with public officials to suggest that he supported Company B's new power plant in his capacity as a leader in the Senate. The third scheme involves only Senator Morgan, and the indictment charges that Senator Morgan was taking 12 $1,000 bribe payments in 2006 and 2007 from a business that owned assisted living centers, identified in the indictment as Company C. This business had been at odds with the Oklahoma Department of Health, which was attempting to impose regulations on assisted living facilities. In exchange for payments disguised as legal fees, the indictment alleges Senator Morgan authored legislation that became law at the end of the 2007 session. This legislation helped Company C by lifting some of its regulatory burdens. These bribery allegations, again, concerning Company C, do not involve Mr. Stringer or Mr. Skeeth.
Mike Morgan's attorney, David Ogle, said the indictment is politically motivated and that Morgan, a Democrat, will be exonerated.
That we believe these charges are somewhat outlandish and are overbroad. I believe that the federal government has abused its ability to prosecute people. They're relying upon 2 convicted felons to go after a state senator who has an impeccable record of ethics and dedication to the betterment of Oklahoma, both as a lawyer and as a state senator. And we look forward to the opportunity to go to court. I will tell you that it is my belief that the Oklahoma Ethics Commission allows a sitting senator to have a private practice of law or any other profession. Our legislature is a form of citizen legislature. They work 4 months out of the year with an intention that they have other ability or means of income. And I believe once the trial comes about, that proof will be shown. And that will be our position, and we look forward to the opportunity of going to court. I'll answer a few questions.
Can you tell us about your client's reaction to the indictment?
Very much disappointed. I would tell you he is also shocked, primarily because he's held himself out and has worked diligently to be an ethical and above-board senator, and feels that he has given a great deal to the state of Oklahoma. And so it's discerning to him that the federal government now has stepped in and raised these types of allegations.
This is a story reported by the Oklahoman's Nolan Clay and Paul Monies. The indictment became public late Wednesday. The federal grand jury alleged Morgan conspired with Oklahoma lobbyist William Andrew Scythe and Oklahoma City attorney N. Martin Stringer to influence legislation on behalf of 2 of the companies. The illegal payments were disguised as legal fees mailed to Morgan. Grand jurors said he was not paid further after he left the legislature at the end of 2008. Morgan is now an attorney in Stillwater. You'll find more coverage and details in the Oklahoman and online at newsok.com.